Welcome to the Spirits, Angels, and Guides Oh My podcast.
Where the supernatural gets real, baby.
Okay, my boos. I want to start this episode off a little differently because over the years, in readings, in circles, in classes, in workshops, Nan and I have heard a lot of the same questions over and over and over again. And it's not because people aren't getting it, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. It's because this work, this path, it opens you up. It expands you. And it's supposed to. And when you open up, my babies, you start to notice things. You start feeling more, right? You start questioning more. You start wondering if what you're experiencing is real. That's a big thing, by the way, right? It can be scary for people. Or if it's just you, is this just me? And again, that can be scary for people. So that's where questions come in. Am I intuitive or am I making it up? Why does my connection feel strong one day and gone the next? Are those really signs or am I just reaching? That's a big one that comes up quite a bit. Am I blocking myself without even realizing it? These are not small questions, and I want to make that hella clear. These are the ones that sit in the background while you're trying to figure yourself out, right? And let's be honest, most people aren't actually confused. They're just really not trusting what they already feel. They're waiting for something more. And we've talked about this before. So today we're going to get into it, people. Real questions people ask in the metaphysical and spiritual world. And you guys totally know you can reach out to us on IG or you can send us in our website's questions that you want us to answer on here. And we're going to give you the honest answers. The ones that don't always get said out loud. And if you've ever sat there thinking, am I doing this right? This episode is for you.
Welcome everyone to Spirits, Angels, and Guides. Oh my, I'm Nancy Christine Brady.
And I'm Tara Diana.
And today's conversation is one I think so many of you are going to recognize in yourself, because no matter where you are on your spiritual or intuitive path, whether you're just starting to open up or you've been doing this for a while, there's certain questions that seem to follow you. Mm-hmm. They come up in quiet moments. They come up when something doesn't quite make sense. They come up when you're trying to trust what you're feeling, but you're not fully there yet. And the interesting thing is, these questions don't mean you're doing something wrong. They actually mean you're engaging. So you're noticing more, you're becoming more aware, and you're starting to explore your connection in a deeper way. And with that comes curiosity, but also a little bit of doubt. And that's completely normal. So in today's episode, we're going to walk through some of the most common questions that come up in this work. The ones that people ask in readings, in development, in everyday conversations. And we're going to talk about them in a real way. When do Tara and I ever not?
Yeah, we're just going to make shit up, guys. Welcome aboard.
Not just what they mean on the surface, but what's actually happening underneath them. Because when you understand that things start to feel a lot clearer and you start to recognize that you're not as off track as you might think. So let's get into it. And honestly, some of these questions might sound simple on the surface, but when you really sit with them, they open up into something much deeper.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Usually when someone asks one of these questions, they're not just asking the question. They're asking it because something's already hit for them. Something's already happening for them.
Exactly.
Right? Mm-hmm. And so let's just go there. Now, these are questions, Nan, that have come up. I'm sure you've seen them on our little website thingy. These are just people that have kind of sent stuff in. And so I just picked a bunch of them and we're going to have at her. Okay. So the first one is from someone by the name of Mary. Hello, Mary.
Hi, Mary.
That's my mom's name. Hi, Mom in Spirit. Okay, this is her question. How do I know if I'm actually intuitive or just making things up?
Oof, yeah.
Okay, this one right here. Everybody asks it. Everybody asks it. This is the most common question in my view.
Every single person at some point, Tara.
And of course, I'm going to say something that people don't always like, and they're certainly not going to expect this. I don't think so. If you were making it up, babies, you wouldn't be this worried about it.
Oh, that's so true, because the doubt actually shows like a level of awareness that they have.
Right? When I work intuitively, I feel that it comes in clean, quick, subtle. It's not this like big wave of emotion or anything. Like, and I've been doing the work a long time, so it comes in clean, quick, and subtle. For me, I like that. But what happens for other people that are in development or whatnot is that they get it clean, quick, and subtle, and then their brain jumps in and starts picking it apart because they're not sitting in their power.
Yeah, and people expect intuition to feel different from their thoughts, right? But often it comes through that same channel.
It feels like you. That's I think what throws people off, Nan, is that they're waiting for these aha moments that we keep talking about. Those aha moments are not everything you think they are. They are rare, right? They're rare. And what is an aha moment? Right? It feels like you, and that's why you're not trusting it. I truly think that the aha moment should be when you're like, okay, thank you so much. You just trust it.
Yeah.
You just trust it.
Yeah. And the more that you question it, the more you're disconnecting from it, right?
Well, because you're overthinking it, right?
Yeah.
The real work isn't figuring out if it's real. It's learning to trust what's already coming in. And I want to say that belief in what you do is so valid and so important to make you the clearest channel you can be. Whether you are working with spirits as a channeler, as a evidential medium, as a intuitive reader, card reader, energy practitioner, if you can't trust what you're receiving, because remember, mediumship is the foundation of all spiritual and metaphysical work. Your conduit. Doesn't matter if you're reading tarot and you've memorized the book. Spirit's still working with you, baby. If you're good at tarot, I guarantee you, Spirit is helping you be good at tarot.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? So
hopefully that helps, Mary. Jason is our second question, Tara. And Jason wrote in and said, why do I feel connected one day and completely shut off the next? Now, I know this one can feel really frustrating.
Because people think something's wrong with them, that they can't connect. So it is literally them being like, they can't connect.
Yeah. But connection isn't constant. It's responsive. And you and I have talked about sort of an on-off switch that we use, right?
Yeah. And again, here's the thing about mentorships, or not mentorships per se, but learning how to do this work. So sitting in circles and things like that, is that the reason we encourage you to not just read a book, to not just go on YouTube and follow some people, although you can follow Nan and I, but not just follow like random people and their teachings without finding a circle or a mentor you can work with on a one-on-one basis or whatever that looks like for you. The reason that we are so passionate about that is because you need to be able to hear other people's experiences. I feel that really helps you ground into the way you're working and what you're receiving. When someone says, oh, I got this and you got that as well, there's nothing more powerful than being like, yes, I'm doing this right.
Yeah.
Our humanness needs that ability to be, Nan, help me here. What am I trying to say? They need that confirmation. Validation. Thank you. All the Asians. They need that validation. It helps us. And there's nothing wrong with that. And that's, again, why I suggest finding a circle, sitting in a circle, staying in circles. Yeah, that's a big thing for me, right? I like that. I like that we're talking about circles. We're talking about practical ways people can do things like this, right? Because you want to remember your energy and your emotions and your state matter when you're doing this work, when you're connecting.
Yeah.
If you're connecting, that's why I always say to people, if you are having a shitty day, if you are overtired, if there's anything, even if you are over elated, like you're super hyper excited by something, right? And you have clients, cancel them, reschedule.
Yeah.
Reschedule.
Because if you're overwhelmed, stressed, or overthinking, that affects your connection.
It totally does, you guys. I will be the last person that will give you a reading if I am out of sorts. With all the court dates, Nan, I cancel all clients on court dates. I do not run circles. I do not do anything. I tried it at the beginning. At the very beginning, I tried it, and I was like, no, I have an obligation to these people. And I was like, whoa, Nelly. After the first 2 or 3 times I tried that, I was like bitter. I was defensive because I was dealing with my humanness and trying to do that. So, let's be real. Some days you're just in your head and it's A-OK.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. And when you're in your head, you're kind of not in your body, and you need that grounded presence, because that's where the connection happens, through being present and grounded.
So you're not gone. It's not like you were doing the do yesterday with spirit, and then suddenly you got up this morning and the do isn't there anymore. Spirit's still there. You just stepped out of alignment, guy. Jason, hey guy.
Hey guy.
Hey guy. You just stepped out of alignment for a little bit, and you will have, if you're in a good development circle, if you're with a good mentor, I don't know if I'm the mentor for you, dude, but if you're in a good space, I promise you, you will have the tools to realign back again. But if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be.
I think Jason just appreciates us, so we're just gonna thank you, Jason. Thank you for
Yo, dude.
Guy.
Okay. Oh my God, I want to get through all the questions, so we got to do this. Okay. The next question we have is from Lisa. And I like this question. Are signs from spirit real, or am I just noticing coincidences? Amen. Hallelujah, Lisa. Let's go there. Not everything is a mother fluffing sign, baby. This is me.
Let's start there, Tara.
But when it is a sign, my friend, you know it hits differently.
Yeah, there's a feeling attached to it, like a pause or a recognition. I always say to people, not every hummingbird is a sign from spirit, but
not every eagle.
Not every eagle, but you feel it differently. It hit landing. So a pause, a recognition. It's a good way to put it.
And it will interrupt your normal flow. It won't be a fleeting thing where you walk by it and then suddenly you're like, huh.
Yeah. And don't worry, because Spirit's going to repeat it if you don't catch it the first time.
And they'll bring it back around hella quick. Quick. Because the key here is learning your own awareness, right? Yeah. Because the sign isn't the important part. Your recognition of it is.
Absolutely.
Let that land.
All right. So our next question's from Danielle. Can I block my own gifts without realizing it? Yeah, but not permanently.
Yeah, you can. and you're not wrong. Yeah, you can. Again, there's that word block.
Yeah.
And that word block is detrimental. We've talked about it before. The word block immediately makes people... I find the word block is an excuse in spiritual work. So here's the thing. You can have days where you're just not connected. That's a real thing. And you're not shutting anything off. You're just not engaging with it. And that's okay.
Yeah. And that can come from a whole bunch of things, Tara. That can come from fear. It could come from doubt. Or it can even come from life being overwhelming. We are a soul here having a human experience. So we're allowed.
It can come from control.
Ooh.
Right? That's a big one.
Yeah. Wanting it to come through a certain way.
Oh, that's exactly where I was going with that. And spirit doesn't always work like that. Right?
No. So when you let go a little, that connection opens back up.
That is so true. Your expectations or from your humanness?
Ooh, yeah.
So when you have an expectation of spirit, they don't have an expectation of you. They work the way they work with you, the way that it's best to work with you. It's up to you to be open to that. So you don't lose your gifts. Oh, Nan, mark this down. We should have another conversation about this. You don't lose your gifts. I've got lots of stories about this. You don't lose your gifts, my friends. That's what I'm trying to tell you. What happens is you stop listening to them. And then when that happens, you make every excuse known to mankind.
Yeah.
You do. Okay. One more thing on that note, though, Nanabu, is that when we talk about the whole idea of can I block my own gifts without realizing it, that question has actually got so much more to it in terms of how we feel we are connecting with spirit. And so I want to say to everyone, if you feel that you are not connecting on a regular basis, that you are blocking it for whatever reason, you need to realign and reconnect with spirit and just make an intention to work with them in a certain way. Then you'll know that when it's not a good day for you to read, it's not that spirit has abandoned you or that you've put up a wall. You just know now you're working in your power. Now you are aware and conscious of how you're working with spirit.
Yeah.
Okay. This is from Kevin. We have lots of guys this time. We rarely have a ton of guys. Okay.
I know.
So we have something from Kevin. Why do I feel things so strongly around certain people? Oh, okay. Kevin, put up your white light, baby, because you're picking up on energy.
Yeah.
Not yours.
Yeah. I would say Kevin's probably a physical empath, and not all the energy that he's feeling is his.
Oh, yeah. And okay, Nan, can we go down a rabbit hole for just a moment?
Sure.
Just
Let's
a moment.
do it.
Just
do
really
it.
quick. Also, being an empath is not an excuse for acting any certain way. I just want to say that. People use being empathic as I'm overly sensitive. I feel too much. You're saying, basically what you're saying is, I'm an energy junkie. I'm taking everyone's energy. And instead of learning how to handle that, I'm just taking it because it makes me feel good or powerful or whatever. Trigger, I'm sure. Okay, so you're not wrong. He's taking on all the energy that's not his. So let's normalize this real quick. You're not too sensitive, Kev. Kev, can I call you Kev? Kevin, you're not too sensitive. You're aware.
Yeah. And the key for you, Kevin, is going to be learning the difference between your emotions and what you're sensing from other people. Yeah.
So one of the things we teach early on in the work that we do is to start asking when you feel overwhelmed by energy, and I'm not talking about spiritual energy personally, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the energy around you when you're around other people, because I feel that's where your question was leading. You need to start asking, is this mine? That is a great question to immediately go to when you're feeling overwhelmed by energy.
Yeah. And I always teach my students that. And if it's not, you don't need to carry it.
Yeah, you don't carry it, and that's not wrong. That right there will change everything, Nan, in my books.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. All right. So hope that helps, Kevin. Next question, Tara, is from Priya. Do I need tools like cards or pendulums to be intuitive? Now, in my opinion, they can help, but they're certainly not required.
I have Nan's going, oh God, not this question. I can just feel her.
Remember, we've only got a certain amount of time.
I have a lot of thoughts on this, Nanaboo. So they're support for sure. They're not the source. And I think that's important for people to remember. And that's why I said to you, you can learn all about tarot cards, but trust me, Spirit is helping you read those tarot cards the way they need to be read for the person.
Yeah.
That's just for real. But I feel that they can really, really benefit anyone that is slightly questioning what they're doing. That support, that being able to pull a card and see that it absolutely confirms what you've just given, that is mwah, French kiss, right?
Chef kiss.
Oh, chef's kiss.
We're taking the podcast in a whole other way now. But the tools give people structure and confidence, Tara.
Oh, because we're
right?
so busy French kissing. Okay, calm down, everyone, and get back in order here, please. Okay, yeah, and that's exactly what it is. And I remember Martin Broff, Reverend Martin and Gloria Broff, they've both passed over, saying to me when they were on platform and I was in the audience, "You don't need to use cards anymore." And for many, many years, I just stopped using the cards altogether. And then I realized I like using the cards for confirmation. I like pulling them and doing quick readings with them, where I truly don't have to sit in my power, because I just allow it to come through the card, right? Because that's what's happening. So yeah, if you think the power is in the tool, though, you're missing the point. You are the connection.
Yeah.
Right? So the card is a visual.
Yeah. And like you said, Tara, over time, most people will naturally move away from the tools.
And because they realize they don't actually need them, or they can utilize them in a way that's super fun for them. That's exactly why I use chords. And that's why you and I use them in the Essential Spirit Scopes, right?
Yeah.
Because they're fun and people like a visual.
They love a visual.
Right?
I love cards.
I don't care what anyone says. I will stand by that. Okay, we're coming to our last question.
Okay.
So let me pull it up here. This is Emily. Hello, Emily.
Hi, Emily.
What's the biggest mistake, oh lordy, people make when developing spiritually? Oh, me first, Nan, me first.
Okay.
Overcomplicating everything.
Yes, immediately.
Like immediately. People think there's some advanced level they're trying to reach and they want to get there fast.
Oh my God. And it just comes back to the basics. Right?
I feel like we're bursting people's bubbles as they're like, basics. But grounding, awareness, trust.
And consistency.
And authenticity. Right?
Yeah.
Do it your way, baby. Take everything you learn, what resonates with you, and you mold it. That's how Nan and I did it. We've sat with people and we took what resonated. We didn't take everything, because I'm not going to be a carbon copy of someone else. And this is the biggest problem with old school mediumship and modern mediumship, in my personal view. And we need to do an episode on that. I'm writing this down.
Okay, write it down.
Modern. Okay. And consistency is so powerful, because everyone wants the magic. Remember what I said, Nan? I was like, oh yeah, everything is like, la, I'm a medium. Like, I loathe it when people come on and make some grand statement on like social media. I am a medium. What are we supposed to do? Hey, like, that's great. Me too. Good, you're a medium. Everyone is a medium. Mm-hmm. Everyone is a psychic. Not everyone's meant to do the work. Period. Hard stop. So, everyone wants that magic, but they skip the part that actually builds it. So you may be announcing to the world you're a medium, but until you can provide me with some receipts, baby.
Yeah. But comparison can play a role too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But stop looking sideways.
100%.
So your connection is yours. Period.
Absolutely. So, listening to all of these questions, they might sound simple on the surface, but they actually matter a lot more than people realize, Tara.
It's funny because some of these questions have been repetitive. Like, we've answered some of these before. And I think it's really good that when they come up again, it shows that people are still, curiosity. They're still in the basic beginning to learn to work with intuitive nature, spirit, energy, etc. And because, these aren't actually just random questions, they're repetitive. These are the questions that shape how you see yourself, your connection, and your path. And really, if those questions are sitting there unanswered, you're going to start second guessing everything and prolong your development and your growth.
Yeah. And that's where people can start to feel stuck or unsure of themselves, right?
And that's, again, goes to back where they start outsourcing, right? They start looking outside of themselves for someone to tell them what's right or that they're right. And this is where, of course, I'm going to say something that people might not always love. You need to be mindful of who you're learning from.
Oh, yeah, that's important.
Just because someone's visible, just because their name is everywhere, just because they've got the marketing, the following, and the presence, that does not automatically mean they're doing the work at a level that supports you.
Mic drop.
And I'm not saying that to call anyone out. I'm saying that so you don't hand your power over too quickly.
Oh, well said. Because this kind of work requires trust and safety and clarity, Tara.
And if someone can't answer your questions in a way that actually makes sense to you, if it feels confusing, overcomplicated, gaslighting you, or like you're being pulled into something that doesn't feel aligned, that is something to pay attention to.
Oh my God, absolutely. Because your body and your intuition is always going to give you the proper feedback.
And again, we're always real here. You should not feel like you have to give up everything just to be a part of someone's work. That's not empowerment.
No. Empowerment should feel like you're coming back to yourself.
Yes, ma'am. So ask the questions, babies. Stay curious, but also stay grounded in yourself while you're doing it. Because the right people, the right teachers, the right mentors, they don't take your power. Okay? Hear me. They help you see it.
Oh, I love that. So, and as always, we are so grateful that you are here with us, having these conversations, being open, and really doing the work, because that's what this is all about.
And this isn't just about listening, it's about applying, right? And if you're ready to go deeper with this work, whether it's development, connection, or just understanding your intuitive self on a whole new level, you can find us.
You can follow us on our platforms. We're on Instagram at Spirit Angels and Guides. Oh my.
And if you're looking for more support, more teachings, or you want to step into this work in a real way, you can also find me at Spirit Essence by Tara Diana and Nancy at Nancy Christine Brady on all the platforms, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and our websites.
And we'd love for you to subscribe, follow, and share the podcast with anyone who you feel might need to hear this message.
Because let's be real, that's our catchphrase on here. We want to be real. A lot of people are sitting with these same questions and not always getting clear answers.
Absolutely.
All right. We love you guys. We'll see you in the next episode. Stay divine, lovies.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks for joining us on this journey into the wonderfully weird and metaphysical.
If you loved what you heard, don't forget to follow us for more insights and behind-the-scenes fun.